So actually, when I was giving around in the months of June, July, at that time suddenly my marks started reducing. Like it went to around 52 marks and around 70 percentile, 65 percentile. That was something which I learned from iQuanta, that you don't have to read the entire passage to get the answers. You first see the questions, you get to the passage from where the question is actually from, and then you read that specific part and then you attempt. So that helped me getting my concentration back on the whole passage and the 4 questions, and that's why I was able to solve all the 4 RCs. Like I was able to attempt all the 4 RCs without losing much time.
Hi Soumyadeep, welcome. First of all, congratulations on your amazing 99.97 percentile score in CAT. I would like to understand your origin story. Like, when did you first think of giving CAT? How did this thought appear in your mind? What was going on at that point of time? Just tell me your origin story.
So I am actually from an engineering background. I did my BTech in petroleum engineering from IIT Dhanbad.
Oh, wow.
And I prepared for JEE Advanced when I in class 11th and 12th. And at that time it was a saying, that even now a saying, ki IIT and IIM is the golden combination. And so I did not get why was that. I thought that engineering would be sufficient, and because IITians were doing really great. And after, when I went to college after 2nd or 3rd year, I met my peers, I formed a group, and everyone was saying there is a limit where an engineer can perform. Like they can do fantastic jobs, they can make products, but how to market that, how to sell that, and how to make it accessible to the public, and how to manage a company, this is something for which you will need a specialized training which will be given by MBA. And so that thought entered my head, and even when I joined this company, I thought I am a fairly good engineer, but now I have to understand how the company, how the business that works behind my industry. So from there.
Oh, fantastic. So which was the section which you dreaded the most amongst the all 3 for the CAT examination, and how did iQuanta help you tackle that?
So as an engineer, the toughest section for me was VARC, and in the previous attempt also I scored pretty less, and during the exam I felt that I was zoning out while reading the RCs, and that was something which was like, I used to read books, but why am I not being able to attempt these questions? But then I realized after the classes that reading books and novels is different from a reading and comprehension RCs, because you have to answer the questions, and the questions are not key what is mentioned in the passage. You have a deeper understanding of what the author is used to explain through the passage, like the tone of the passage, which statement is, what is the assumptions and inferences. That was something which I learned from iQuanta, that you don't have to read the entire passage to get the answers. You first see the questions, you get to the passage from where the question is actually from, and then you read that specific part and then you attempt. So that helped me getting my concentration back on the whole passage and the 4 questions, and that's why I was able to solve all the 4 RCs. Like I was able to attempt all the 4 RCs without losing much time as it was in the previous attempt. So that was something which is better.
Right, of course. Did you also prioritize between VA and RC while giving your attempt?
So,
or was it just on the D-Day that you decided? Or did you have a strategy in mind?
I had a strategy because I had given more than 70 mocks,
Oh,
total full mocks. So the strategy was clear, that I saw that my VA verbal ability, the accuracy part was a bit lesser as compared to the RCs. I was better able to understand the RCs and answer questions around 80% or 90% ke aspas. It was the accuracy. But in VA, it was around 60 to 70%. So I realized that if I reduce my attempts in VA and mainly focus on the RCs, like whatever VA would be easy, I will attempt that, but I will not attempt the dicey ones. Like it was a question in this year's, like the sentence jumbling. It was very easy, so I attempted that. It was very easy. But something like the para summaries, it was not something of a strength for me, so I didn't touch those things. If I found it was a bit dicey, so it prevented getting the negative marks.
So you were very selective when it came to VA, but when RC was your strong suit, so you maximized
I answered all the 4 comprehension. I did not leave the comprehensions. It was something of a strength for mine.
Right, of course. And you mentioned that you did about 70 mocks. So what was your frequency from start to end in terms of giving your mocks?
So the frequency I had in mind, that was fixed. Like I started around 1 to 2 mocks a week when around in May. I started giving in May because I had people think you have to complete the syllabus in whole, then you attempt the mocks.
Of course.
But for me, it was I have completed 60-70% syllabus. I will attempt the mock, and then I will learn through the mocks. I will do the classes and I will give the mocks, and then it will be a wholesome understanding. So at the start, I was giving around 1 to 2 mocks a week. In the middle part, it went to 3-4 mocks a week. But it was, for me, it was fixed that in November I will not give any extra mocks. I will only give the previous year. So I gave 2024 the three mocks. I gave 2023 and 2022. Only these mocks I gave in November, like only nine mocks.
Right.
And the remaining part was covering well wherever in the previous mocks I had made any mistakes. Those revision was the most important in the last month of the paper. So that was a very structured. I had made the structure previously.
This is very good. Like you had a lot of focus on looking at your weaknesses, analyzing them through the mocks, and then picking it up again. So last question like that I have in mind. Throughout the entire journey, was there ever a period where you had, you felt ki, boss, this is not my cup of tea. Given that you were giving so many mocks and stuff, did you ever have a low confidence phase or a burnout phase that this is too much? Anyways, you mentioned that you're from IIT, so you would have gone ahead and did something. So is that that phase, and how did you come out of it?
So actually, when I was giving around in the months of June, July, at that time, suddenly my marks started reducing. Like it went to around 52 marks and around 70 percentile, 65 percentile. And I was thinking, why am I not being able to do this?
Which mocks were these?
So these were iCAT, and other than that, other mocks are also taken. In iCAT, I think 4 or 5.
And that was your percentile in iCAT, okay.
So I was thinking, why is it not happening? I am doing all the things that have been suggested by the teachers. But the one thing that was very important for me was keep going and keep giving mocks, because whenever the mocks used to go bad, I used to give the mocks early in the morning because my office is a bit far away from my home. So I didn't have energy to give the mock after I came from office. I had to give it early in the morning, like for 5 to 7 I used to give the mock. If the mocks were bad, the whole day was going to be go bad. But then also I would always think the more I give the mocks, eventually it will go better. It will become better, and it got better around in iCAT 18, 19. I went to the 99.9 stages. I got continuously. But then again in November also I got one mock, specifically one mock I got around 70 percentile again suddenly. So there also I felt, in just a month before the exam, how is it going to happen? Why is it like this? But then again I used to motivate myself that you have given lot mocks. One bad mock doesn't define what you'll do in the D-Day.
Of course,
it will always be how much pressure you can handle in that moment when you're giving the exam. And if I have given 70 mocks, I know what my strengths are, I know how to manage my time, and I felt confident in the exam also, and the result was there.
Oh, wow, wonderful. That's a great journey. Thanks, Soumyadeep, for sharing it with us. Thank you so much for being here.